What's the question of the week for me, Cal? What do you have for me?
So this week we have a question that says, "How can I train myself to be more persistent without being pushy?"
Mm, persistent without being pushy. Persistent without being pushy. How do I train myself? Well, let me turn that question around just a little bit. I don't know if it's a training thing as much as it is as a identity thing. And let me tell you what I mean by that, Cal. I think we have to be astute enough with our asking and listening to identify when it's time to be a little bit more, and I like using the word assertive. You know, how can I be a little bit more assertive in a situation where I know for a fact I got the exact solution for this person that's going to be a be a solution to the pain. So if you've identified pains, not pain, but pains, you know you have the right solution, and that particular prospect is really kind of procrastinating because that's what we're up against sometimes, Kyle, is procrastination. People love to put things off. So if you know you have a solution, to their pains, and they're kind of hemming and hawing a little bit, they're kind of hesitating. There's nothing wrong with what I refer to as I call it being pleasantly persistent. Because any book I read, even in my book, The Professional's Guide to Self Success, it talks about you have to ask at least 3 to 5 times, for that opportunity. Yeah, if you remember when you wanted anything from your parents growing up, you didn't make one ask, and then if they said no, you were done. If that first ask didn't work, you start thinking to yourself, okay, that didn't work. What's next? So I think we have to not be afraid to knock the deal off the table, but be pleasantly persistent, knowing that the solution that I have is going to be a good value for the problems and pain that you shared with me. So that's the answer to that. Don't be afraid to be pleasantly persistent, especially when you have the solution. I think where we come across as being pushy and aggressive is when our product or service doesn't line up with what their needs and what their pains are. All right, makes sense. Hopefully that works.